Alright lads, let's get back to basics. So Driftwood asked me to do a collection video. I started one. I've got about 30 minutes ready to go, ready to post. Just haven't done yet because I wasn't sure where I wanted to go next. So what I'm going to do is this is how I store all my basic lands for Commander. EDH. The format that we play. It's a shoebox. Yep. And what I did is I just took a piece of cardboard, folded it in half, made, let's see if I can zoom in on that. Ooh, zoomy zoom zoom. I just folded the ends so it's easier to adhere to the end of the box. But other than that, I mean, it's shit. Go buy a new pair of shoes, keep the box, get a piece of cardboard, and you can do this. It's not rocket science. Anyway, so swamps, islands, forest. I've got two sections of forest because I could cut it, put it all in one row now, but I used to have this box packed full, but I started making decks. Mountains, plains. If you notice, the swamps are a bit light, the islands are kind of heavy, forest is kind of heavy, plains is really heavy, mountains not so much. And what I do is I like to have 13 copies of any given basic land, because if I make a two-color commander deck, 13, add 26, add 10 non-basic lands, 10 utility lands, and there's my 36. Squeeze in a couple of the lands to make, typically in a deck I run 37, 38. T-Var is running 36 because of all of his mana elves. Voya is running 36 for the same reason. Sharoom runs 36 because of all of her mana rocks. Let's see. Everybody else runs about 37, 38. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, 13. So what I did is over the years I collected basic lands that I like the art of in piles of 13. There's a few, for example, the snow-covered lands. I have 30 of each in case I want to run a monocolor deck. Zendikar full art, the original Zendikar full art lands, I have 30 each of those for the same reason, in case I want to run a full color deck. Full color deck. Full art deck. These were the lands that were in Carador before he got broken up, before he proved that he just didn't cut it anymore. The Lorwyn lands. So if I've got these swamps, I forget if the other part of this, so Wayne Reynolds, because I kept all the bite decks because I like them a lot. I love the art of basic lands. Let's see. So I don't, no, that would be here. That would be the second forest. So let's see if Wayne Reynolds, did he do the forest? Rob Alexander did the forest. Derish did forest. So is that plains? I've got these in here. So what I do also is when I make a deck, and I explained this before in the video where it's relevant, is if I make a deck using these basic lands, let's say it's a 3-color deck. If I make a 3-color deck with Ice Age Plains, I will use Ice Age Swamps, assuming it's absent, for example, and Ice Age Forest. So the land, it has the same kind of feel, the same kind of air about it. Let's see, where did Again, these are the lands that Carador had before he got broken up. Where are the Morningtide lands? I guess I used those in something. Is it Swamp? Yeah, I'm looking for them. Yeah, of course it's Swamp. That's what I'm looking at. What a fucking idiot I am. Okay, Martina Piltarova. I missed one. So I'm using Rob Alexander Islands and Forest. No? I must be if I had. Okay. Alright, so it just was in the wrong slot. I don't have Rob Alexander Forest or Islands in the deck right now. Martina Pilzer. I'm trying to find an illustration of the bite deck. So let's go with Island and Forest because I know where they are. And then I can quit looking for the other Wayne Reynolds land. Okay, here we go. So all the Lorwyn lands, all the basics have these bite decks for enemy color pairs. Shadowmoor has the same thing for allied color pairs. Of course, Lorwyn is the sunny side of Morningtide, and then when the Great Aurora happens, it flips over into Shadowmoor, which is a much darker, crueler world. Let's make sure I get those back where they go. So anyway, there's really not much to say. I mean, it's a box of basic lands. I could show them all to you if you want to see more of them, but okay, here's some more. Here's some of the Shadowmoor basics. So these go with islands, I'm pretty sure. Let me find an example of, yeah, and something else I kept is, I don't think I have 13 of each revised though. Let's see, 1. So that should be in a deck box because those are in a deck. 9, yeah. Yeah, it was a bit more difficult getting. These are swamps. What the hell is the plains doing? Okay, it's good that I did this because now I'm seeing I put some things in an improper place. So this plains should go here. Yeah, here's snow-covered plains, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21. Okay, 21 plains. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. Alright, so if I made a monocolor white deck, and I've got one kind of in the planning stage, I'm probably not going to do it, mono white angels, I would use these because I have the most of them. But that's that's pretty much it. There's really not a lot to say. This is just, and they keep coming out with more and more beautiful basic lands. It's really hard to keep up with. Not Shadowmoor, Bloomborough lands are beautiful. I really love to have sets of those. The problem is it's hard to justify collecting all these basic lands, more basic lands, when I already have all these. You know, I've already got stacks of them. So for me to get stacks more, so I can put them in a deck, it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. But I like to have them from different worlds. For example, if I were to build a Niv Mizzet deck, I would use Ravnica Mountains and Ravnica Islands, so he's got that Ravnica feel. If I was going to do, well, Divar, he's got Lorwyn lands, because a lot of the elves are Lorwyn. I wanted it to have that whimsical feel to it, not be so brutal as, say, where am I? Yeah, fucking Jund lands. Jund lands are goddamn brutal. It's not a nice place to go on a holiday. There's the revised mountains. Here's the Zendikar Mountains. So if I lost my mind and made a monocolor red deck, which probably would suck, it'd probably suck real bad. I'm not going to do it. So anyway, that's how I store the basic lands for my EDH decks. That's, what else to say? Nothing. I'm just wasting airtime. So now, let's look at, so what I said, I can't really justify getting stacks and stacks of basic lands when I already have stacks. I've got enough basic lands to build 10 more decks easy. No problem. Not 10 monocolor decks, unless they start mixing the basic lands, which I don't like to do. If this basic land was in a deck, then all the swamps will be that. I don't like to have, you know, this. I would not like that because it's jarring to me to see that in play on my side of the field. I don't like it. Let me see if I can use that to tilt this up so you can see it better. That's a bit better. Okay, so anyway, it's probably going to bore the shit out of some of you, but one of the lads, I forget who, wanted me to... Okay, so I know Driftwood wanted me to audit my collection, show kind of how I store things. He's curious to see how I manage it. And then one of the other lads was asking about my basics. And I said, do you want to see my basic land art collection? And he said, yeah. Okay. We'll see how many views this gets. So these are not only basic swamps, but lands that can only produce black. So I've got Everglades up here, Barren Moor. Can I tilt that? Nah, I can't really tilt that more, not with my camera. If I do that. Nah, that doesn't... Sorry, this is going to be angle video from hell. It's like the opening crawl to Star Wars. I've got Witch's Cottage. There's this... What the hell is that from? Some unset. And then goes into more swamps. I bought this binder because it's perfect. It's got 20 pages. So that means each color gets 5 pages. Makes it really nice. Makes it so I know not to overload it immediately. So a lot of the lands that I have, for example, a lot of the lands in the box are not going to be represented here because I had them in the box. I had them for decks. I don't need to keep them in the art binder. Then these, I like the world building they did for Forgotten Realms. I know it was not a well-received set, but it's pretty cool that they went ahead and did this. You know, you search for a stolen artifact. Your search for a stolen artifact has brought you to the edge of the Mere of Dead Men. Ooh. Another shitty place to go on holiday. More swamps. I've got the Foundation swamps. Got an unglued swamp. And so I've got one page empty because I'm thinking of the future, thinking of how it's going to go ahead. I've got plenty of room here for more swamps, and I've got an empty page, so if I get more, I'm not going to run out. I'm not going to fill the binder immediately. Not going to be, and then have to take things out, and have to decide, okay, which of these do I really like? No. And if you notice, I kind of did a pattern. I'm trying to shove this back in here. It's coral atoll is coming out. So what I did, that's a bit better. So you see the first page of the swamp, and then the first page of the island mirrors it. So I am missing this island. I'm missing that, whatever set that is, for island, and that'll go here. But it's the same thing. These are all the basic islands that I really like the art on. Either I really like the art and I don't feel like going out and getting more, or they're expensive, so I'm not going to get more because they cost a lot. For example, the some of the older foils that I have, I didn't get enough of them quickly enough before the price jumped. 7th edition white border. Be cool to have that foil. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be at least minimum €5 in shitty condition. Perfect condition near mint is probably going to be about 10. I don't feel like spending €10 on a basic land. So here's more islands. This one's really nice. These full art foundation. As you can see, I've got the both. This one I didn't acquire in foil, and at the time, even right now, I'm still thinking about what I want for my decks, so I'm not really going out and buying any basic land. There's a 7th edition foil island. So that's got a little bit of value. I'm sure it's not in the best of condition. I'm sure it's pretty thrashed. Can I zoom out anymore? There's really... It's not easy showing you all this. And again, I don't know who cares. I don't know who gives a shit. Look, he's got more lands. Yay! There's a Mercadian Mask foil island. And once in a while I just like going through this. I just like having them for the art in one place, so I can go through and look at them and be happy. Forest follows the same pattern as we saw with the swamps and the islands. Mirage, the Visions Karoo land, the Eldraine. I'm not sure if there's a shorthand name for those. I really don't know. Probably not. I'll have to think of one. The Cycling Land from MH2. This is the foil Mercadian Mass Forest, and it's beat to shit. It's fucking thrashed. But it's pretty, and it looks good in this binder. Although, you're probably not picking up, but that edge looks like somebody took a file and went all around the fucking edge. That's what it looks like. It's bad. It's real bad. This snow-covered forest here, it's actually been folded. It's got a big bend in it. But I got it cheap. Let's see if I can show you the bend. See, look at that. I don't know if you can see. You can see the creases in the bottom. Oh yeah. But fortunately, it's not so easy to see it from the top. I mean, you can see the foil. So to make a foil card, they take a layer, kind of a sticker, and they lay it over the card. I have a foil card that's actually, it's peeling off. So the foil layer is peeling off. I could just peel it off completely. It's a Daru encampment. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So the foil layer is half gone. If you lift it up, you see white. You see the white card underneath of where it was glued to the card back. And I could finish pulling it off and stick it on something as a decoration. But it's the only one I have. I haven't seen any cards like in that condition very often. So I'm just kind of saving it for when I want to really decorate something. More forest, follow the same pattern. So the pattern is these are all the same in each, and then some of them are random. I just randomly put them. So Eldraine lands, Forgotten Realms lands, more forest, more forest, foundation, Wald, Einwald. The empty, but as you can see, I still got plenty of space for more forest. I'm going to get some of the Bloomborough lands. I should probably buy them now before they go out of print. Get the full art Bloomborough lands, put them in here because they're just beautiful. And it's, at least if I have a representational copy, then I really, like I said, I really don't need to get 13 for a deck. I I can't really think of who I would give Bloomborough lands to. Maybe Edric, maybe Voya. Who else is really whimsical? Kind of Sigarda. So maybe I'll get them, probably not. This land is beat to hell, and it's not even foil. I like the art. It's from Odyssey. The Mirage lands, though, all of these are near mint because I got them in a collection I bought about 5 years ago, and the person who sold me the collection had just never played with them. So all of the Visions, Mirage lands, they just were completely unplayed, completely near mint. More mountains. These are getting up there. Those, in the Galaxy ones, I think those are the Galaxy ones. There's 2 versions. One of them is really expensive for a basic land. It's kind of nuts. As you can see, mountains. The Bob Ross lands too. Those are slow going. I think I've managed to pick up 2 out of the, I believe there's 10. There's either 5 or 10, obviously, because they're basic lands. And I've acquired 2. The mountain, and I believe a plains. I forget. So, is everybody having fun? Is everybody enjoying this trip into basic land town? Or did everybody already cut off and nobody's watching right now? I bet it's the latter. I bet nobody's watching right now. This is 5th edition. You can tell because there's no set symbol. So, revised 5th edition had no set symbol. 6th edition, they started putting set symbols in the core sets. This is from Mother Russia. It's the Russian steppe, the Russian plains. Actually, you know, probably be more Soviet. That'd probably be Kazakhstan, where you get the superior potassium. This Odyssey, or this Onslaught Plains, is French plain, but it's not in the best in condition. Like I said, I just picked them up for the art. Got them cheap because they were thrashed, and the person that a lot of these I picked up from my friend Ricardo, and he just hoovered up foils. He just loved foils. He didn't care about condition. He just, I want foils. And then he sold a bunch to me because nobody else is going to buy them, and they're not in the best condition. And I was kind of in Ricardo's boat. It's like, oh, those are beautiful. Man, this is thrashed. I'm not going to give you that much for it. Oh, I don't care. You buy all of them and give me a good deal. Okay. So I bought all of them, gave him a good deal. Both of us were happy. I got some beautiful cards. He got a bit of money. Fair trade all the way around. Paper for paper. Stark deine Manövrat I don't know how to say one white in German. Weiß. I know Weiß is white, but I'm not sure exactly. Would they say one white? Would they say ein Weiß? Ein Weiß off? I don't know. Here's a invasion planes. So if I were to try to get a bunch of these, no. The other thing I do with the basic lands is, as cool as it would be to have all the planes, invasion planes, foil in a deck, as cool as that would be, foiling out one of my decks, I actually don't want to foil out a commander deck. What I've realized, and it took me a while to figure this out for myself, is I don't want every card in the deck foil, because then the foils look less special because they're all foils. So what I like to do is have a few flat cards just to make the foils pop out that much more. Granted, some of my commander decks, barring the basic lands, are almost foiled out. Barring the basic lands and the reserve list cards. Let's see. The only deck I have with foiled out basic lands is Muldratha. And it's because I got a good deal on, was it Ixalan? Or Khans? It was either, it was Ixalan. Ixalan foil lands were going cheap, so I bought enough for her to foil out her basics. But the deck itself, so if the basics are foil, it's probably about 80% foiled. Cards that I don't get foil typically are shock lands and fetch lands, because those are really expensive. Anything that's super jumped up in price, for example, original Sylvan Safekeeper, he's 120 euros now. I've got one. I've had one for years. I've had one for a decade. When I bought him, he was not anywhere close to 120 euros, and nobody ever expected his ass to get up that high. Nobody. Maybe Rudy did, because he really thinks about shit like this. But, what else do I have that... yeah, everything else is anywhere from 40... for the whole deck. I'm talking about basics and everything. Everything else is anywhere from, I would say, 40 to 60... Well, let me think of a couple of the decks I have. So probably more like 20 to 60% foil. So that's a wide range, but my commander decks are running about that, because I just love foils. Some cards, the foil looks so much better than the flat card that I don't want the flat card at all. So I won't even buy it. I won't chase it, no matter how good it is for the deck, because I don't want to look at it. Not when I know there's this beautiful foil version out there. It's like having a car that you can play with, you can drive, you can race around the track, you can pick up your friends, pick up your girlfriend, go out for, weekend to France. But it's not the color you want. And so every time you look at the car, you think, oh, this is a great car, but it's just not the color I want. And you're always kind of disappointed. It'd been better to wait and buy the color you want, if it means that much to you. So there you go. That's it. That's the ramble for today. If I were a Moxman, I would say ramble jamble, but I'm not him, and I think he trademarked that, so he's probably going to hit me with a copyright strike.